morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope everyone's had a great week. I have a special for you guys tonight. I am going to play with some Brutus Monroe, and this week I've been making projects all week on my blog and my live for Unity Stamp Company. I was their Growing in Unity Girl of the Week, and so I am going to use they have some collaboration stamps with Brutus Monroe, and I'm going to add them into our projects tonight. All the links that I have linked down below most of them are affiliate links. I don't think the Unity one is not. Hi, Luann. But if you do place an order at the Brutus Monroe store using one of those links, that just means I get a little bit of commission, and I appreciate that. It does help me bring you content. Hi, Cordelia. Excuse me, my throat's a little dry. I'm going to get all the housekeeping out of the way, and then we'll get started. Just to remember that if you spend $25 or more, you will get our 6x6 Patriotic Paper Pack. This pack contains 19 pattern papers and 3 different glitter stocks. It's available till 6/22, which is Sunday, right? Yeah, in the evening or while supplies last. And then the other thing I wanted to is don't forget right now to buy the stamp, get the coordinating die for 75% off. I believe that might go only through this evening. So there's that. There is a 25% off select cardstocks, 60% off select sparkle overlays, and 40% off select specialty papers. And of course, don't forget to create your own vending event. You can sign up for that and all of that good stuff. So there is all that. Hi, Miss Penny. Hi, Debbie. Hi. I think I said hi to everybody so far. Like I said, I am going to kind of throw in some extra stamps tonight that are from Unity Stamp Company, which is a company out of Minnesota. They're a red rubber stamp. We're going to use the Retro Tiles paper pad, and I've got the Simple Sentimental. I got a bunch of stamps cut out. We might use the dies, and then the coordinating stencil, which I just got, called Simply Sentimental. I may use these little strip dies that I have in my stash, and then I want to show some of those. Hi, Brandon. Hello, Irma from Southern California. Oh, yeah, the sparkly overlays are great. These are some of these background stamps that are with the Unity collection. Now, I could not link directly to just the Brutus Monroe stamp, so I linked to the Unity Stamp Company website. And if you type Brutus Monroe in the search, you will find them. I don't know if all of these are still in stock, and there are some others that I don't have. I think there were a couple on sale. I might have one of those, but I wanted to show you some of them. They are red rubber, vintage burlap. I'm not going to use them all tonight. Hit the brick. I don't think there was one on sale. There was 2 on sale for sure, and I don't remember if this was one of them. So there's that one. This one is Tuscan Tile. We have Heart Swirl. These are just some that are available. Oh, yes, and also use the codes from Wednesday's Live. The Simon is 20% off Stick and Stay products. Wrinkle and Love Quilts. So those are just the ones that I have right now in my stash. I have some others that I have wanted. I just haven't gotten yet. So we're not going to use them all. I just wanted to show you some of them. But we're going to use them. Oh, and the other thing we're going to use tonight is the embossing powder of the month, which is the Icicle embossing powder. I have mine in a container right here, and that is how we're going to add our stamps. So let's get started. I am going to be 100%. Oh, there's the dies I was looking for. I was looking for these stitch dies earlier. I was thinking of using those. I have a headache, so not that it's an excuse, but I wanted to tell you that if it starts really bothering me, I'm going to cut my live off early, but otherwise I plan on doing the full hour. It's hanging in there a little bit. So this is the paper pad of the month. Hi, Cindy. This is the Retro Tiles paper pad, and it coordinates with these Brutus Monroe cardstocks: lipstick, mint, pumpkin, lavender, sunflower, and sky. I may pull some of those in tonight. I didn't pull any yet. I'm just going to kind of go through it real quick. These are some bold patterns. So that is why we're going to use the icicle embossing powders tonight. And then they switch. So we'll switch to these side. And we're just going to add some extra little fun to our projects. Those are all the patterns. So I'm just going to go ahead. I did not plan to use any specific one. I just thought we'd grab one and go. I'm going to, let's see which one's speaking my name right now. I think the circles. We're going to go ahead and cut them down to an A2 card panel size. So 5.5 by 4.25. To start, I may trim it down even more, but we're going to start with that. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to get out my Misty, and I'm going to have to do a little rearranging because I cannot use my stick and stay mat with these. I like the colors in this one too. Because these are red rubber, it wouldn't see how I don't want to break my Misties. So I'm not going to be able to use my stick and stay mat. So I'm going to pull that out, which is fine. I'm just going to try to make sure I put it on something so it doesn't get super dirty. I'm going to see if I have a stick and stay mat handy. I moved them when I got my, I'm not sure where I put the original one, so we're just going to go with it. So what I'm going to do instead is just grab a little bit of repositional tape. Stick that down. We're just going to stick it down on our cardstock. And I'm just going to go through, and I think I'm going to go with the Tuscan tile. And all we're going to do with these, you're going to run to the kitchen and make, oh, okay, be right back. You promise you won't miss much. Make me one while you're at it. I need some caffeine. The Tuscan tile has those circles on it too. And all I really want to do with these is add just a little bit of fun shine. So this is a very bold pattern. I'm not going to necessarily worry about anti-static powder. You could, but there's a lot of pattern on this. So I don't think we need to worry about that so much. So I'm just going to go ahead and I did not plug in my heat embossing machine. So I need to do that. I'm going to make sure that I'm kind of looking at because I re-inked this, but I have some dry spots. I didn't re-ink it well. I can see where it was wet and where it wasn't wet. And I'm just going to go ahead and add this. So some kind of fairly clean and simple cards. You could totally use this and pull out a sketch. My sketch, I don't know where my sketches are right now. They're in another. I've been reorganizing a little bit again. Mostly because I got some new bins. I think I told you guys that last time. And I actually swear I have this one stamp set I was looking for. And I only had one part. And it was like in a series, a retired stamp set. And I swear I have the other one. And I can't find it. And I've looked at everything. Use ALYSIA to get 40% off dies if you have the stamps but need the dies. There you go. There's another one. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put this. I don't have any fans going tonight or anything. It's not too bad. Tom and I spent the day doing some work in the house. I took the afternoon off to help do some cleaning up, kind of / remodeling in the backyard. So I was warm, and then it's gonna kind of cool. But I knew I was gonna be heat embossing tonight, so I did not want to blow my embossing powder everywhere. All right, let's plug this puppy in. All right. So I have my little heat thing here. I'm going to grab that, make sure I put that side up. I know Christopher talked about these coming back in stock soon, so hopefully they will be, but I'm going to use mine because I have it. And I'm going to grab my pointy tool just because, oh, I blew some of my powder away anyway. There we go. Come on. I didn't heat my tool up fast enough. I should have done that first. Okay. And I blew a bunch of powder, which I just cleaned this all off, but it's fine. It's fine. So here is our first panel. And I'm going to bring it up. And all I wanted to do with these is give them, like, see that fun pattern? So it gives it a different look. So you have background stamps like this, whether you use a Unity stamp or another background stamp, like one of our background stamps, you know, our 6x6 ones, like the stars we just had, you just add a little pattern to it with some icicle, and it just adds a little bit of interest to your card. So we're going to go ahead and start there. And I'm thinking, what were some of the colors? I'm going to just pull my little pack out here, put this up so I can see it. What color do I want to use? I think I'm going to go with the pumpkin. Let's just see what color I grab. I'll go in order and see if I can find them in a rainbow. I think that's carrot. I think this is pumpkin. Oh, that was carrot cake. All right, here's the pumpkin. All right, I got some pumpkin. So we're going to tie this all together a little bit. What I think I'm going to do is first trim this down just a little bit, because if you notice, I didn't quite get the embossing powder all the way to the edges, which I'm okay with, mostly because it just didn't ink up. So I'm just going to trim it down a little bit. And I'm going to trim it a little bit more off this side because I have half circles here. That way those circles are. And same thing with this one. Since these are half circles, I'm going to trim it on this side to 5 1/4. Okay. And then we'll trim this card panel down to part it in half. And then by 4 1/4. So we've got that. Now, do you want to see something really fun that I've been doing all week? You're going to have to forgive me because you're not going to be able to see it terribly well. But I have been, my friend Shiloh is an amazing card maker. And she has inspired me. And I have been sewing on my cards all week. So we're going to do a little sewing on our cards. And I'm going to do it live. Now, it's going to be a little crazy because you're going to see most of my sewing machine more than anything. I can try and change my camera angle a little bit, but I don't want to get anyone sick. Just glue this down. I didn't get that quite perfectly centered, but I can trim it a little bit. All right, so I have been enjoying this. I have this little machine. It's called Janome Sew Mini, and I'm going to try to put it so you can't, let's see if I can. Okay, look away if you're going to get sick to your stomach, okay? Because I'm going to try and angle my this so you can see what I'm doing, okay? Give me just a minute, because I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work. I don't know if I have the right equipment right here to lift this up. I'm going to try to put this up so you can see. Okay, sorry about that camera angle, guys. Oh, yes, Shiloh, she's amazing. Okay, so there you go. That's not going to work here. Okay, let's try it like this. Nope, that's upside down. Sorry, you guys. Camera angles. I need it to go like that. Let's see if I can do some jerry-rigging here. Some jerry-rigging. What can I put there to hold it in place? What if I do this? Okay. So this is something kind of fun and new. I've not done this ever on a live before. I've actually only been doing it for a week. I'm not very good at it, but I think it's fun and we're going to go for it. Okay. So I bought this sewing machine, or my mom bought me the sewing machine for a present years and years ago. It's a little Janome Sew Mini. And I'm just going to do a quick stitch. I've got white thread in here, and all I'm going to do is put it in here like this. And I'm just going to follow along. You can't see, but I have an edge of my card base is with the foot, and I'm going to sew. So hopefully you guys are okay that I'm going to. Oh, and my needle fell out, of course. Or my thread fell out, of course. I didn't pull it long enough. So we're going to pull it up for a second. It's been really fun for me. It's been adding a lot of fun whimsy to my card. Let's get some thread out here. And I thought this would be something fun. I've been doing it all week and really enjoying it. And I'm going to bring it back. You're going to start seeing more of this on me. And of course, now that now that I'm live, this had to happen. So please talk amongst yourselves or ask me any questions. Well, I thread the needle here. I gotta cut it. A little tip. So yeah, Shiloh Miles, you can check her out. Oh, she is amazing. She is fun. And she creates with little, which I mean by that is she has like some basics for her like embossing folders that she uses and this and that. And I really hope that this is going to work. Why are you being dumb to me today? I have a needle threader somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Come on, go in there. It was just fine the other day. I had threaded it, no problem. You guys, this is just disappointing me because I was so excited to show you this. And now it's being dumb. Now it's being dumb. Okay, you guys are all going to be sad now that I can't do this because I'm live. Yeah, she does. Thank you, Brandon. You guys really wanted to sit here and watch me thread this machine all night, didn't you? So we may have to forgo this, and that saddens me. There we go. No, that didn't go in. It's really, 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 really mad at me because I had no problems with this the other day. I've been using it all week. And today, the day I want to go live and show you, it's not working. It is just, we're going to try one more time and then we're going to forgo this and just move on with our card. And move on with our card, even though there's no, I already put holes in it. It's my own fault for not. Okay. Sorry, you guys. That's just not working. I just dropped you. That really angers me that had to be done. But don't get sick. Don't get sick. Close your eyes. Okay, close your eyes. All right, I'm back. Yeah, it's okay, Mom. It's just being dumb. I had no problems doing it the other night. Thank you. My mom's a quilter. We'll do it another night. I'll make sure it's all ready to go. I've got a couple holes in my card right here. We'll make it work. That's just disappointing. It's probably because I have a headache. I can't concentrate. So we're going to forget that. Pretend, scratch that, reverse it. I didn't do it. Pretend I did. Let us move on to, my garbage is so full. I can't throw anything else in it. We're going to grab another piece of that pumpkin paper. And I'm going to grab a die from my stash. And I'm going to use this big wide, this is from a company, a friend of mine. She is no longer has a company. She moved on to other things. Her name was Leslie Oman from Hefty Doodle. I loved Leslie, is one of my very good friends. But we're just use any kind of, you can just cut a strip. I'm going to use it because it's on my desk. And you guys know me. I've been trying to use stuff up that I have. That's why we got it, right? Thank you. I did try that. It wasn't, it's being stupid tonight. I mean, I'll check it in a little bit and see if I can get it to, maybe I just needed a break. Like I said, I have a little bit. So the thread's a little thicker, and it could be that I've sewn on it a few times and it's sticky. The needle is sticky. And so it may not be liking me because of that. But all we're going to do is take this and we'll cover up that little spot right like that. I'm going to wood it up a little bit. We're going to put our sentiment right there. These are not going to have a lot of focal point. The focal point is going to be that sentiment. And I have all the sentiments ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and grab my little glass board little thing here. Actually, no, this is not going to work for me because I need to be able to spread them out. I'm going to grab a tray. Look forward to it. You will see more, and I will have some other things coming up too and then I'll have them. So we'll just grab one. Let's just do a happy birthday, right? So you could leave it just like this and be good to go, but I'm not going to. Hi, Lynn. How are you? We're going to grab the die from our stash. And I think we're going to add some more fun to it. So I think what I want to do is, do I want to use the circle? Or do I want to use the oval? I'm going to use the oval. And we're going to do 2 cuts with the oval. We're going to go ahead and yes, I moved it. Cut one out of the orange. Let's see, grab another piece of orange here. And I'm going to cut the inside piece of the oval out with the orange. And then we're going to grab, hopefully, if I turn around and see it. I moved my vellum. Let's see if I've got a piece of scratch vellum here. There it is. I found it. I told you I moved everything. Grab some vellum, and I just need plain old vellum. I don't need any heat resistant vellum or anything because I'm not going to heat emboss. We're just going to grab a piece of vellum, and we're going to add this to it as well. Cut that out, cut this out, and that vellum will give us just a little bit of lift and surprise and I can't say the word differentiate it so that it is, I don't want to cut into my plate. I saw Walter and Sean's projects from last night. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, Debbie. I have a good time. I love to create. But I saw their cards from last night, and I know Sean did his SIP or a stamp ink paper, I think. Is that what he called it? Stamp ink paper? And I saw his cards, and Walter's fun card with the glitter, the grunge numbers. So look at how great that fits together. And then we can stick that on here like this, and you can do happy birthday. And we have just a very clean and simple card, which is what we're going to do. So let's get this. Now, I will say I have glitter glaze on here, right? So I'm going to put on liquid. I'm going to put on tape runner. I'm actually going to tape runner everything while I'm at it. except the vellum piece. And then I'm going to grab my glue, and because I'm going over embossing powder, I'm going to use a little liquid glue as well. Now, I probably could have just used a regular strip without this stitching since nothing else has stitching, but I'm okay with that. We're just going to layer that on. Okay. And then we're going to layer our oval on here and layer this guy on here. You could put some flowers or something like that. You could leave the scallop off as well if you wanted. And then I have my foam tape pieces. Nope. We'll just grab a piece of foam tape. And we're just going to pop this up with a little piece of foam tape. And you've got your card, which of course I still have my little holes right there. So what we're going to do to fix that is we're going to add I'm going to add a huge pile of glue because I did, and I'm going to grab some gems from my stash. So let's see, what do I got here? I'm going through looking to see what I got for color and gem. And not finding any orangey ones that I want to use. So I grabbed some enamel dots. These are left over from something or another. There is some light yellow ones. I think I'm going to go ahead and we're going to use some of the yellow ones here. Actually, let's do green. Let's do green. And I'm going to use some glue to put those down. And I could use my pokey tool, but I'm just going to use my fingers. And I put that glue down just because I did. I was going to do a gem, and then these are self-adhesive. So there we go. And that's it. You've got one card done. I hope you guys like this. Hi there, art teacher Gina. How are you, Miss Gina? I forget that you went by art teacher Gina. How are you, sweetheart? How's my Lily? So there's card number one. I just love how the background stamp you see it, but you don't. So let's move on and choose another one. But I think at this time, I'm going to use that orange piece because I still have it, but we're going to do the opposite of the effect. So let's grab a different stamp. We're going to go big and bold, and we're going to grab this vintage burlap. I will tell you, thank you, Cordelia. This was the first one that I ever bought. A design team member at the time had used it, and they heat embossed it, I think. I don't remember exactly, but they did like a rainbow paint effect behind it. And I was like, what is that stamp? And then she told me, and I didn't know because I knew Unity, but I didn't know Unity and Brutus Monroe had some stamps together. And I was like, I have to have that. So I went and found it online. Actually, let's put our piece of paper in. Had to order it right away. But Whitney and Angela are amazing ladies. They were part of CYOE last year. They had the butterfly stamp, or the bee stamp with the flowers. It was very beautiful. It was fun. So, all right. Once again, we're going to heat emboss this. We're just going to, and you wouldn't have to heat emboss it. I just want the sparkle. Because, you know, if I would say if you're going to have any embossing powders in your stash, if you're going to be an embossing powder, not like my friend Tracy who doesn't emboss at all. I have to tease her a little bit if she watches this later. Icicle, fairy dust, gilded, alabaster, sterling. I don't say black because I use my icicle with black ink. It likes me better, but otherwise Raven would be another one. And then, of course, you can go from there. Icicle is fabulous clear. Fairy dust is fabulous clear with sparkle. Gilded is obviously gold. Sterling is obviously silver. And then our alabaster is amazing. So, oh, one more week of school. That's awesome. Okay, so look at how fun this background is. You could leave it just like this, but we're going to add some fun to it. We're going to add our embossing powder to it. It seems, to be honest with you, Gina, I have to laugh at that because I feel like that's so late because the kids here have been done since May. But I know that sometimes you probably have different breaks than we do. So, like, I don't know if you have longer breaks at different times, like for Christmas or like a mid-season break, or how long your spring break is. Like, we don't really have a true spring break. We have a couple days, I think, really. And I don't even know if we call it spring break. Okay, this time I'm going to heat this tool up a little bit stronger before, so that it doesn't necessarily blow as much as it did. It's still going to blow, I can promise you that. There we go. I still, of course, yep, embossing powder all over my desk because it still blows off a little bit because there's so much, and I didn't shake it. I'm not gonna. There we go. Now look at it. Oh, and you had 7 snow days. Oh, that's, yeah, I don't know how many. I'm not having kids in school. I don't know how many. So look at how fun that is. So now we're going to take, oh, you know what? Did I need hit a spot? No, I did. Okay, so I'm tilting the light to make sure I got it all shining. That looks better. Maybe one more spot right over here. Okay. So I'm going to leave this a full panel. I know it's a little bit on this side, so we're going to trim it just a hair. I can trim my card base down a hair too. Well, maybe not. No, I am going to trim it down. And the reason I say that is I want some white on my card to, because my sentiments are all stamped in white, that will bring the white and tie that all together. So we'll trim it down. And the nice thing about trimming it after you heat emboss it is if you miss a spot or something, you can do that. And then we're going to go ahead and choose another pattern paper. Thank you. It is very pretty. And I think this is a very busy pattern. So I think I'm going to go with, I don't know if I want to go with this. We're going to go with another busy pattern. We need one with some orange, lots of oranges. Let's do this one. And I'm going to trim it strategically so that I get that orange. And all I'm going to do is trim it right. I'm going to do a slip. So it's right at, I'm setting it up so this little spot that's in the middle is right there at the edge of my trimmer. Kind of at the peak of this. I'm going to take my time. Nope, that's not the right spot. I need to line it up right there. So I'm going to do the peak of that starburst thing. Nope, I didn't quite get it straight. Let's do that again. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side because my trimmer's at a kind of an angle. I'm going to line up the peak of that. I'm just going to eyeball it, see what that looks like. That looks good. So I cut the peaks, if that makes sense. And we're going to use that as our border on this side. And then when I trim it, I'm going to actually adhere it and then trim it. Actually, so we don't have to do that. We can trim it again. I'm going to trim it right there. So I'm sorry if I go off camera here. I'm just lining it up. I'm lining it up right in the center of those two pieces. I hope that it's going to be 5 inches. It's going to be a little short, but I'm okay with that. So it's not going to be quite as the length, but that's okay because we're going to do it like that. And then we're going to go ahead and go one more time and use one of those dies and another piece of vellum. This time, I think what we'll do is we're going to do a piece. Let's do congratulations. We're going to cut the rectangle out. I don't know if I'm going to do the scallop this time. Let's see what it looks like without first. Only because, you know, sometimes the scallops seem to be the fitting for this. And then I will tell you the congratulations is shorter. Actually, you know what would be kind of fun? Let's cut a few rectangles. I'm actually going to fold my paper in half. Fold my vellum in half because vellum is so thin. Put my die down. Put this on top. I'm just going to check my eyeball it there. So I can cut two at once. Hopefully I got that lined up. Save me a step, right? There we go. And I'm thinking I might tuck one underneath. Maybe we'll tuck them all underneath. Like this. Just kind of playing. Actually, let's do that. That looks better to me. Okay, let's do that. So I'm gonna try to eyeball them, but I also will do a little measuring to do it. So we're gonna do that, and then we need our sentiments. So grab our little sentiment bid. Thank you. And then I want to do the congratulations, which is a little longer. So, but I just so you see, you got the whole sense. You know, you got your get well soon, your congratulations, with sympathy. So there's all sorts of different ones. I think I'm feeling like I want the congratulations. I feel like this is going to work kind of like this for me. Okay. So I need a card panel. You guys know me. I put these on card panels and then I put them on a card base when I'm ready. My desk is a mess again. All right. And this is going to pull that white in for our sentiment. Right like that. Now you could pull in the buttercream color there and then stamp this on another color and you'd probably be okay too. But we're going to go with, for me, let's go this way. We're going to start with this one. And how I'm going to do this is we're going to do this one first. And all I'm going to do is put a little tape right down the center. I'm not going to worry about the edges. If they're loosey-goosey, that's okay. And then let's grab a magnet here. Make sure we're nice and straight on our board. And I'm going to go over to the edge a little bit. And that looks good to me. And the reason I did the center one is because now I can put my other two and kind of eyeball it and see if and then make them all kind of the same distance apart. So if I put a little, you know, like this, so that they're the same distance, if that makes sense. So go ahead and eyeball this one. Down just a little bit lower. And I hope, I'm going to say beforehand to everybody out there, hope everyone has a happy Father's Day for those who are dads and those who want it, whether you're a pop-up dad or a kitty daddy or a person daddy or somebody who wanted to be, have a happy Father's Day out there, because I feel like all men, just like all women, they tend to be fathers or mothers to somebody in their life, even if they're just somebody that's not their blood related. Somebody appreciates you for that. And I'm going to go ahead once again and add a little liquid glue. I don't know if you guys noticed that I broke my tip off my glue. I'm going to eyeball this and stick that down. Oops, not quite straight. Right down the center. So you could have done this the opposite way. You could have done this with the pattern below and then put this orange as the strip. And then I'm going to put my congratulations. Let's see, where do we think we like that? I'm thinking I need to put it off this way a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to do it down at the bottom here. And I am going to make this flat this time. I'm not going to blow it up. And I use the SVGs to cut these out and stamp. That's why I have so many ready to go. And then we're going to add a little gems to this one too. This time we're, oh, I shook the camera. We're going to grab some out of my crystal bin here. And we will add a little bit of glue. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do them right here. I'm going to put one there, one dot up there, and one dot right there. Grab my pick tool. I'm going to put the center one in first, just like the other ones. Then we can eyeball and kind of make them equal distance apart. And then, like always, grab your cloth of tulle and tap it down. Don't rub, just I'm pressing down with my finger. And that gets that extra glue up. And then, of course, we can put it on our card. We better cover those up before we don't. And I'm being careful because those gems are not quite dry, so I don't want to move them. And then we will put this down, eyeball it the best that you can. There we go. There's card number 2. Okay, I think we have time for one more. One more. Let's do this hexagon pattern. I'm going to go ahead and do the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 that I started with. And let's go a little crazy this time. Let's grab, I'm going to grab, I have not used this one yet, Love Quilt. I don't know if this one's still available, but I'm going to use it. There's other ones that have script and things like that. There's Christmas ones. Misty, where did you go? There it is, under my orange thingy. We're going to go a little crazy this time. Now you can use Raven Detail ink to do this. But I'm going to go a little bit rogue this time and use a pigment ink because I want to get nice fine. And this can be very, 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 very good way to do this. Okay, we got to first of all make sure our stamp is upright. I don't know how this is going to look because it's a pattern on pattern, but I'm going to use my VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink because there's a lot of like little bits and pieces, and that it works very well for those little bits and pieces. So I'm just going to go ahead and I just re-inked this. So this is going to be very bold on our backgrounds. But the way that it worked earlier tonight with that sewing machine, but I do heat emboss my Raven Detail ink, but I have a feeling because it's not that I need to re-ink it, that it's not going to work for me this tonight. So I'm going to use my pigment ink. All right, are we ready? Let's check it out. I see I had a bubble there, so. Ooh, I like how that turned out. Let's push it down one more time. Yeah, so you can see that bubble that's in there. Sometimes you don't get a clear anything, but it reminds you of Bewitched. I think it's kind of a fun paper pack. I hadn't gotten it out before tonight, and I'm excited. I got my frame stamp set in the mail yesterday. Remember, mine was a little delayed. That's why I didn't use it last week, and I'm excited to play with that this weekend. I'm gonna go ahead and so any kind of scripty background will work with this. This one I'm kind of tapping off a little bit. I'm not flicking it though so much as I'm just kind of tapping it a little bit. I'm going to get my little heat thing out again. And of course I'm going to have powder go everywhere just because. Heat this up. All right, you're going to tip it up a little bit. It's still going to fly everywhere. Magic happening. Look at how fun that turned out. That turned out a lot better than I expected because I hadn't heat stamped that one yet. I'm going to pull it up. Look at how fun that is on that background. It's so fun. And I think the perfect sentiment that I think has to go with this one is the miss you or the thinking of you. And I'm going to do the miss you. Excuse me, I need a drink here. And we're going to pair it with a little bit of black and a little bit of white because we got to have a little bit of white to tie in with our sentiment. So we're going to cut it down and we're going to put it on some licorice cardstock. Trim a little bit off each side. I'm trimming just a little bit, so there won't be quite as much black showing. I'm just eyeballing. I'm just doing a little bit. Okay. Let me grab my licorice. That's not licorice. Even have a card panel that's already done. Look at, it's going to pop. Look at how fun that's going to be. Thank you. I mean, look at how good that looks together. And then we're once again, I got the miss you. I'm going to go again to trim out. I'm going to use that die again I'm going to use the skinny one this time to trim another piece of black out. I do like a good, there's an image. It's a piece I've already had used, but that's okay. I didn't use the stamp. I'm just lining it up on my die here. Float this one across the bottom. Because there's a word that says Happy Valentine's, we're going to cover that right up with our little buckle here. We've got our little miss you. And then I think there's a heart. There is a heart. So we're going to add a little bit of a vellum. We're going to do a vellum heart. Actually, let's do a vellum heart frame. Let's try it. Okay. Here's my piece of vellum here. What we're going to do is take the pixie tape or mint tape or whatever you have. We're going to line this up on our mat. And I'm going to tape it. I'll try not to move it too much. I'm going to tape it down like that. And then I'll flip it upside down on my magnet. got that cut out. Hello, Shalana. How are you? Shalana's the bomb, you guys. She has been did you see what I just did? I do too, Cindy. I forgot to put this in. I'm channeling my inner Walter, because he's kind of he does grunge and vintage type things. He did his grunge cards last night. I didn't get the grunge cards yet. I need to order those. There we go. So now that I cut this out, I actually have two pieces. So I have this heart. Look at, isn't that fun? And I think that's what we're going to use on our card. You know, you could totally go in with the heart and the miss you, but I think we're going to use this, and we're going to have it. And actually, I'm thinking, what happens? Can we thread? Nah, I was thinking, can I thread it like a belt buckle? But I could if I cut it and worried about it, but we're going to do that. So let's get it put down. I'm going to put tape on the whole thing. And like I said before, a little bit of glue because it's on the embossing. And then we're going to line it up on my mat because I am going to try to make it straight as I can. Okay. We want to cover up that kind of Happy Valentine's kind of. So I'm going to use that line on my glass mat to line it up. Perfect. Now I am going to add glue to this. I could have done double-sided adhesive, but I'm just going to add a little bit of glue all the way around. Dot, dot, dot. Not a lot. I guess that's what kids used to say in school. I never said that in school. I had kids telling me that not too long ago. Rub my finger along it. And then we're going to glue that puppy down right there. And I'm going to use my magnet to hold it in place for a minute while it dries. And let's pop up our little miss you. I might have cut that too big. A little big. A little too big. That's fine. Cut that off and stick that back down. And then we've got, oh, before I do that, I'm sorry. Let's trim this off. And wipe off our mat so we don't get glue on everything we didn't want it on. And we're going to add a little. I want to thank you guys all for sticking with me, even though what my plan earlier did not work. I'm going to get it to work for next week. Let's eyeball this. I really am. This is, I think, my favorite of the night. I mean, you could just do that. You wouldn't have to do anything else. I mean, like I said, you could cut out another heart, pop that heart up a little bit in a different color, but we're going to add our little miss you. And put that right there. I think we need a little pop of color, so I'm going to grab a marker, and I'm going to use this piece of vellum right here. That looks close enough. We're going to color in our little heart. Add that little color right there. Oops. Hope you guys just heard that. That was my glue falling to the floor. And I'm going to grab some black sequins. I'm going to add a few sequins too. Let's add 1, 2, 3. And then I think we'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There we go. That's enough. That's more than I usually put. Usually I only do 5. And these are kind of a silvery black color. Center one first. So then when you put the one down, you can kind of eyeball the next one. I'm really surprised that the pupper's not up here begging, because I told him when I was done with the live we could have ice cream. There we go. Thank you, Miss Gina. Thank you. Like I said, just tapping that down, using my stick because I moved the one to kind of move them back into place. And then I'm going to grab a little bit around the edge of there and a little bit there. Let's cover that up quick. And there we go. There is card number 3, you guys. So tonight was a little fun mashup, like I said, between my Unity background stamps that are Brutus Monroe from the Brutus Monroe collection. And so if you go to the Unity website and search Brutus Monroe, you will find them. Here are the other 2 cards we made tonight. And also featured the retro paper pad and the retro tiles paper pad, which is the paper pad of the month, and the sentiment and the die that came in the sentiment box. So thank you guys so much. Don't forget to check out all the sales. If you were a little late, just quick recap. That is, spend $25 or more, you receive the 6x6 patriotic paper pad free. This valid's good until 6/22 or while supplies last. It's 19 pattern papers and 3 glitter stocks. There is also the buy the stamp, get the coordinating die off, or if you just need the die, to use the code ALYSIA, you get 40% off the die if you already own the stamp and you want the die now. Use code Simon for was it 20% off the stick and stay products? Yes. And then there's also a sale that's 25% off select card stocks. Those are our retired card stocks. So once they're gone, they're gone. 60% off our sparkle overlays and 40% off select specialty papers. All of those are while supplies last as well. Thank you for posting those. Thank you, you guys. Thank you so much. Let me come back. I will see you guys next week. I can't believe that we're almost at the end of June. And I may do a little bit, since I've been using the box all month, we may not do a box week this month, depending on when I look at the schedule. But have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day. And I will see you guys all next week. Bye now.